Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Guys, I just want to say I wasn't here yesterday. It was Good Friday. We just wanted to let everybody celebrate and remember and all of that in their own little way. So I thought, we just moved the show to Saturday. So that's why today is Saturday. Just want to wish everybody a happy Easter, which is tomorrow. Hope everyone celebrates and enjoys family and friends and gathering and all of that. All right. Bubba says, hey guys, how you doing, Bubba? Always glad to see you. Uh-oh, Bubba, what's this? Odell Beckham is going to the Jets? Well, that was expected. Only, in my opinion, only because I thought Aaron Rodgers would seal that deal long before Odell Beckham made that commitment. Now, my thought is this. Does Odell Beckham know something that if Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets, or did he get a ridiculous offer that he just couldn't refuse and said, I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to go to the Jets. They look like they're building up. They look like they're moving in the right direction. I'm going to go there, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers follows me. Maybe that's what he said. I don't know, but I've sure thought Odell Beckham would wait to see what Aaron Rodgers was going to do. But hey, if the money's there and the Jets are willing to throw it around, after all, all the other 31 teams have to keep up with the Denver Broncos, because we have a guy and an ownership worth $70 billion. And so a lot of those other teams that want to compete with the Broncos and what we can do have got to, spend money. And that's obviously that's the name of the game. Wow, Bubba, I'm going to have to read up on that and find out about that. Yes, I did say happy Easter, everyone, but Bubba, thanks for saying happy Easter to me, and right back at you. Hope you have a wonderful time with your family, friends, and whoever you are with, and whatever your day brings. And one last thing from Bubba, Cubs won yesterday, man. They killed. Bubba knows I'm a big Cubs fan. A lot of you may not know that, but I am. It's the story behind it, but that's for another time. Anyways, I believe they won 10-3, 12-3, 10 or 12-3 over the Texans. So that's good. That is very good. Okay, let's get into the first topic. The first topic is this. Now, the Denver Broncos are going to look a lot. The Denver Broncos are going to look a lot different this season? No. I'm not talking about uniform changes, because I certainly don't want to see that. That's not what this segment's about. But I got a little bit of that down the road as we go into the show. Any case, the Denver Broncos are going to look a lot different than last season. I'm referring to the team's chemistry and preparation. Sean Payton, that is taking the Herm Edwards approach with, and I quote from Herm Edwards, "You play to win the game, period," end quote. He's not just saying in the regular season. That's obvious. He's talking about the preseason. Why? Because you have to get the mindset of the players to believe into what you want to do with this team, how you want to structure this team, how you want to orchestrate game planning. What happens in this situation? That did not happen last year. And I was adamant about the fact that the Broncos under Nathaniel Hackett blew it by not playing the starters. Now, a lot of people said that I was in reference to the injuries. Yes and no. That is partly true. But the other thing is you have to have the chemistry. If there's issues in the preseason that are not working for the team, or the coaches and players on the same page, you work it out in preseason. You don't wait till game one of the regular season when it counts. I know I'm going off on my soapbox like I always do with this, but bear with me. Let me continue. Peyton said, and I quote, "In preseason, we're going to play all of them." That doesn't mean all of the preseason games. Of course, they can play all the preseason games. He's talking about the players. They're going to play all the players. Starters, reserves, rookies, maybe walk-ons, whatever it is. They're going to play all of the players in the preseason. I continue. I go back. Let me just say that again. In the preseason, we're going to play all of them. Absolutely, we are. That's the preseason. Obviously, that's the preseason. That's what you want to do. You want to work out the kinks. He also took issues with how practices were conducted last season, particularly the lack of head-to-head drills and guys not in full gear. How are you going to get, okay, let's use another sport, all right? Let's use another sport. Let's use, let's use baseball, okay? In baseball, you don't go out on the field to play a preseason game or a practice game without having your uniform on. Why would you purposely practice in something you're not going to be playing in? That to me is stupid. Absolutely stupid. Does I don't know, name any sport. I'm not really big on other sports like, I don't know, tennis or what they do, or, you know, I play golf, but I don't know how these guys practice. I'm talking about, competition, not competition. What am I talking about? Contact. I'm talking about contact. You don't go and practice in something you're not going to be doing in a regular game. That makes zero sense. Absolutely zero sense. Because all that's doing is saying, oh, I can't hit that guy. Well, then you come to a real game and you can't hit the guy. And if you don't play in the preseason, you're not getting that repetition and all the reps that you need to get in full contact mode. It is ridiculous. And Hackett was, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to lay it bluntly on the line. Hackett was, I don't know, I can't say those words. I can't. I want to, but I can't. He had no clue and no idea what he was doing. I mean, seriously, he let Russell Wilson run the entire show. Okay, I'm getting way off again, but you see where I'm going with this. Sean Payton wants to change everything. He wants to make it the way it's supposed to be. Not, we're just here to have fun and we're just here to, go through the motions and please everybody and huggy, kissy. No, that's not how you play football. You don't do that. You get the mindset into the format that you need to do to win. All right, I continue. He said, and I quote still, there wasn't any 7-on-7 or 1-on-1s last season. 9-on-7s or 1-on-1s last season. The approach was much different than I'm used to. This is Sean Payton quoting. Last year's camps were severely lacking in intensity and physiology. Absolutely. There was no physical contact. It was like, don't touch me. Might as well be playing flag football. It's stupid. Sean Payton's going to make this team into what the Broncos are known for. Go back to the 70s when we had the Orange Crush teams. And then we had the dominant teams in the 80s and Super Bowl championships in the 90s. And then we kind of fell off a little bit. And then we got Peyton Manning in the fold and bam, bam, bam. 4 straight AFC West titles. 2 Super Bowl appearances. Super Bowl 50 championship. That's what Sean Payton's going to bring. And that's because he's changing the culture. He doesn't care what they think about him. He said a long time ago, and I've mentioned this many, many times, guys, but it continues to be a focus of where this team is going. And that is this. This team is not for everybody. It's not. If you don't want to be here, you're not going to be here. That's your choice. You either do how we're going to do it to get to that next level, that level we want to be at, or you can go somewhere else. All right. Okay. Rising Rhino. Hey man, welcome to the show. Glad you're in the chat. Glad you're here. Hey man, what's cooking? I'm just bringing the topics and hoping you guys are enjoying it. Hoping you hit the like button, subscribe button, and just sit back and enjoy this on Easter Eve, I should say. I guess Easter Day Eve is what you say. Okay, thanks again. Rise Around, back in action. All right, love it. All right. Speaking of what Sean Payton's going to do, Broncos workout. The NFL put out the schedule for offseason workouts. However, Sean Payton quickly said the following, and I quote, "We're not having a voluntary minicamp in April. I know the camp you are referring to, which starts through April 24th to 26th. It was on the league's schedule, but it wasn't on our schedule. We will do phase 1 for a month with just lifting and running from April to early May. We've done that before in New Orleans, just trying to extend their stamina. That's a progression that is necessary." He also went on to say, "I think when you're training athletes, I think we're, the NFL, is too quick to move out of phase 1 into football mode after just 3 weeks of lifting and running. That to me is not enough." End quote. He nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. These guys, okay, the season ended for the Broncos way too early last year, but it ended for those who didn't make the playoffs. That means the Bronco players, I should say, have all of that extra time to just sit around by the pool, go on vacation to the Bahamas, wherever they want to go, kick back on the beach, on a boat, whatever. They're not getting in football shape. Some of them do. That's true. Some with injuries, they go into that rehab because they want to make sure they can come back and make the team. I appreciate that, and I commend them for doing that. But there's other guys that just go on vacation and only come back when they have to. Well, they're going to be out of shape. You don't think that when you're in the Bahamas or something, you're not eating crab or lobster or whatever? I don't know what they eat down there. You don't think they're eating on all these tortillas and guacamole and stuff like that? Heck yeah, they are. You know they are. And they're not going to be in 100% shape that they would if they were lifting and running and doing all these stretching exercise things they got to do. So Sean Payton nailed it down and said, no, we're not following the NFL schedule. I mean, we're going to be ready, but that's not our schedule. That may be voluntary schedule. That ain't our schedule because we're not making it voluntary. We're making it point blank mandatory is how I read that. I mean, if he says that's what they're going to do, that's what they're going to do because Sean Payton doesn't mess around. This is going to be a completely different team, guys, going into preseason, OTAs, organized training activities, voluntary workouts, mandatory workouts, all of these things. Yeah, this team is going to be more like the Marines than it was. I don't know. I don't want to put down any branch that supports our country. So I'm just going to say this team's going to look a lot more like the Marines, very disciplined and very organized. Okay, let's go to a former Bronco player. Former Denver Broncos running back and Colorado native is back in football. No, sorry guys, not the NFL. Philip Lindsay has signed with the Seattle Sea Dragons of the XFL. The terms of the contract were not disclosed. I'm glad. I really liked Philip Lindsay. I really, really liked him. To me, he brought energy. He brought spunk. He brought, the guy off the street. The guy who was born and raised in Colorado, went to school in Colorado, into college, stayed all the way through college in Colorado. Didn't get drafted, but was a walk-on with the Denver Broncos, his favorite team, obviously, and gets to be a running back for the Denver Broncos. Oh, by the way, wearing number 30, Terrell Davis's number. That's right. Terrell Davis, the Hall of Fame Super Bowl MVP. That same Terrell Davis. That's the number he wore. And he got 1,000 yards rushing plus. Not one season his rookie year. No, but his second season as well. And what does the Broncos do? Was it Fangio? I think it was Fangio. If it wasn't Fangio, it was Joseph, 102. They got rid of him? Was it John Elway that did that? Well, possibly. He was the GM at the time. Why would you do that? Why would you let 1,000-yard rusher back-to-back seasons just walk away? Not use him like they used him like he did in the first 2 years. Why? Because it's an agenda that these past head coaches and offensive coordinators had. And it wasn't good for the Denver Broncos. It was not good at all. Lindsey Ward, number 30, with heart, with passion, with emotion. He kind of even ran like Terrell Davis. Not exact same style, I know that. But with the mindset of just keeping your legs churning, do whatever you have to keep moving forward. That's why he wore number 30. That was his motivation. And the way the Broncos staff used, or did not use Lindsey, is absolutely not only mind-boggling, pathetic, dishonoring to the guy, and just absolutely just horrible in my eyes. Absolutely horrible what they did to Philip Lindsay when Philip Lindsay gave everything he had. Congratulate. I hope he does well in the XFL. I really do. Absolutely, I do. I don't like really the XFL or anything that's not the NFL, but I will tune in several games to see how he's doing, and I hope he does well. I really do. In fact, there's a part of me that says, you know what, Phil, go out there and have a 2,000-yard season and just say, hey, you know what, Denver, thanks, because this is what I could have done with you. Yeah, you know what, it'd be a slap in the Broncos' face. But you know what? He would send a message, say, this is what you gave up. Yeah, I hope he's motivated. Absolutely hope he's motivated. Okay. Thanks, Rising Rhino. Easter weekend, yes. Happy Easter to you, your family, your friends, and everybody that you know associated. Okay. You'll be streaming the game tomorrow. Are you talking about the Cubs game? Or are you talking about the Avalanche game? One or two. There's a reason why I have this hat on. That's later in the show. So if you're streaming it, I don't know. The Cubs game's on at 11:20 my time. Avalanche game is on, I think, 7 Pacific time. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. So now I know you're talking about. Wait a minute. Only 3 games left before the playoffs. No, the Broncos. Avalanche. If you're talking Avalanche, then that would be 5 games left. I just checked it before I came on. Sea Dragons game. Okay. All right, Ryan. I'm going in all different directions with you, man. I'm trying to just figure out where you're going, man. But we'll get it squared away one way or another. You're going to watch the Sea Dragons game. I was thinking about the Cubs. I was thinking about the Avalanche. Okay. It's all good, man. It's a good sports weekend. The Masters final is on tomorrow. A lot of controversy about the guys in Live being able to come back and play in the Masters, which the Live is a conflict of the PGA. Anyways, I'm getting all different directions, but hey, I'm a sports guy. What can I say? All right. This to me is kind of sad. This is the end of an era. And I've been a Bronco fan since 1976. And I remember when Pat Bowlen took over the Broncos as owner in 1980, I believe it was 1985. Maybe it was before that. No, it had to be before. Anywhere in that early 80s, put it that way. Pat Bowlen purchased the Denver Broncos. Ever since then, I mean, most of my Bronco cheering life has been with the Pat Bowlen era. And I know Pat Bowlen is passed away, and I understand that. I'm not referring to him per se. I'm talking about those that were under him. So you had Pat Bowlen, you had Joe Ellis, you had John Elway, you have Mike Shanahan, you have Gary Kubiak, you have all these people that were under him that, because of the new ownership, is now being phased out or faded away, so to speak. Well, this is the end of an era. And the reason why I say era is because there's nobody associated with Pat Bowlen owned Denver Broncos anymore. Here it is. The fact of the Denver Broncos, John Elway, the face of the Denver Broncos, John Elway, after 16 NFL seasons and more than a decade in the front office, his contract with the franchise has come to an end. That's what I'm saying. He was the last standing person associated with the Denver Broncos owned Pat Bowlen owned Denver Broncos that was still left. Here's the reason why. Elway's consulting duties finished at the end of the league year last month, March. Elway told Greg Penner, part of the ownership group, Elway told Greg Penner, and I quote, "I'd be happy to be a resource for him and help him in any way I can." End quote. He's talking about, we went to Greg Penner and said he'd like to help him, either meaning Greg Penner or George Payton. Not sure which, but Elway said he would like to stay, or come back in any way, shape, or form that he could to help out the front office. To me, that tells me John Elway knew that he was the last man standing of the Broncos owned by Pat Bowlen. He knew it. He had to have known it. And it's awful difficult to be the last person out of an office or a room or a building where you're the last person. And you would reach over and you flick that light off. And you go, it's done. It's done. I was that person. In one of my districts. It was a charter school. But anyways, I was the last person out of the maintenance department. And actually there was like 5 of us left when the place closed. And it was sad to walk out and be the last person to turn that light switch off and realize it's over. And it's tough. And John Elway had to have felt that. And that's why he came back and said, "Hey, I'd like to," what I say. It says, "I'd be happy to be a resource for him and help him in any way I can." End quote. Of course he'd like to come back. Why? Because his heart and soul's with the Denver Broncos. From 1983. He was been with the Denver Broncos in one way, shape, or form. Absolutely. 3 Super Bowl championships. 2 playing, 1 as a GM. I mean, he's been playing football. He's been around football all his life, basically. You can't take that out of a guy. And I'm telling you, man, it must have been tough. And to me, I mean, if you look back here, I've got it right here. This picture, where is it? Right there. That's myself and John Elway. John Elway's on the left side with the white shirt at a celebrity golf challenge here in San Diego, just south of where I live. I got a picture with John Elway. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. I mean, you look over here. Where's the other one? Anyways, it's right there. That's the whole. If you look, his name, John Elway's name, is right up there in orange. So you see, John Elway is one of the guys I like. That's why when he's done. I mean, he's not affiliated with the Denver Broncos per se. To me, it's an end of an era. I didn't want to see this. I didn't want to see Pat Bowlen pass away in my lifetime. Well, not that I want to pass away before him. He's older than me, but you know what I'm saying. I always think of these guys as always being there. The guys I watched, the guys, I sat there and cheered for, and then when they walk out of the building and it's over and done, it's sad. It's sad to me. It's sad. And now I know that we're in a new transition, and and things are going to get better and I'm going to be a happy guy again. We start winning all these games. I get that. But I'm just talking about the guys like Shannon Sharp and Rod Smith and Terrell Davis and John Elway and Mike Shanahan and Gary Kubiak and Dennis Smith and Champ Bailey. And I mean, it goes on and on and on. Yeah. John Elway turned out the lights for the last time. All right. Okay. Yeah, I know. Rising Rhino, I know. I was, like I said, I was all over the place. I was trying to think, okay, let me go back. Did he mean this? Did he mean that? It's okay. What you said was it was in response to XFL Phil Lindsay talk. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have known that, but you know me, I'm just off on whatever comes in my mind, dude. I just roll with it. And yeah, I did miss it in real time. You're right. Absolutely, I did. My fault. My bad. Let's see. Rising Rhino asks, you guys having a party for the Avalanche game tonight? No, we are not. I talked to Madungus Creevy Mike about that, and he said with Easter being tomorrow and the things with the kids, he's got 6 kids and he's got things going on and that kind of stuff. And I believe he worked today. I'm not sure, and I know he's got stuff to do early in the morning tomorrow. He's a worship leader in his church, so I don't know if he's. I'm pretty sure he's going to that. That means something early. So no, that wasn't on the agenda. It was thought about, but it wasn't on the agenda. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Rhino. It is what it is. And, when the holidays come around, stuff like this, a lot of things get shifted around and changed. However, we are doing the last, and I'll get into that too at the end of the show. We are doing the last game, I should say. It's a makeup game against Tennessee, I believe. Tennessee, I believe. Let me check real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Let me check real quick because of the question that Rhino asked. The last game of the season we are doing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Nashville. It's against Nashville Predators. That's that makeup game for that water break that flooded out their entire arena. So that one's going to be next Thursday. So we'll definitely be doing that. All right. Let's get in. The topic for the show tonight the feature topic was, will Tim Patrick be back? Well, we all know that he had an ACL tear and happened right before the season. Came down awkwardly and just tore his ACL, and he was done for the year. Didn't even have a chance to, even play a game. Is he back? Well, that's twofold. One, how is he going to respond to the ACL surgery? How is his mind? Think about this. How is his mind going to adapt? I mean, if he's going down the field and he's cutting hard and he wants to make that hard cut, knowing that ball's coming, he doesn't want it picked off or whatever. He makes that cut. Is his mind going to say, "Oh, wait a minute, whoa, don't hit it too hard, man," because that's how we tore the other one. Maybe it's his right leg. I don't know which leg he tore. I'm thinking, what if it's the other leg he's cutting on? And now he's got fear that if he plants that really hard, he's going to tear that. Also, on the flip side, what if we need Tim Patrick to be Tim Patrick of a couple years ago with those ridiculous, amazing catches and moves and stuff? What if we need him because we don't have what if we don't have a Jerry Jeudy or a Cortland Sutton? I'm not saying that they're in the trade bait, because they're not. I'm just saying, what if we don't, for whatever reason, and we need Tim Patrick to step up? What if one or both of them go down with a nick, a minor injury? Then what? We're going to need a Tim Patrick. Let me get into the article. Tim Patrick, on his recovery from the torn ACL he suffered before the start of last season, said, and I quote, "At this point, I'm cleared to do everything." Everything? Does that mean leg presses? Does that mean squats? Does that mean leg stretches? Does it mean hard cuts? A 90-degree angle? Hard cuts? Does it mean flying down on a fly pattern and stop and turn? Again, planting those feet to get those knees and legs to move in the direction you want can be mind controlled. Do I go full bore? Do I give it everything I got? Do I take that chance? Trust the doctor. Trust I'm 100%. Should I trust them? Or does my head and heart and gut say don't do it? I continue. At this point, I'm just doing repetition to get myself ready to play in a game. There it is. He is starting to do repetitions. Now, does that mean stretching and exercises? Probably, most likely, yes. He's got to build himself back up. He hasn't done this in probably over 9-10 months, easily, if not more. So, yes, that's probably what he's referring to. But could he also be doing little jogging and running and getting into shape to see how that knee's going to react? Okay, I don't know. I continue. I'm talking about what he's excuse me, I should have said end quote back. Talking about what he's going to think about when he runs a route. Here it is. And I quote, this is Tim Patrick saying, I quote, "It's either going to be the choice." Here it is. This is the key. We're going to be the choice of getting locked up on you're going to get open for me to catch a pass. And I want to catch that pass. So I'm not even going to worry about what I've got going on in my head. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get open. End quote. Wow. There you go. There you go. So going back to the feature topic, which is Tim Patrick's recovery, will Tim Patrick be back? In my opinion, absolutely 100%. If that's his mindset and he believes what the doctors have said, and he's trusting what the doctors have said, then yes, if he's going to go out there with that mindset, say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to let my mind overrule what I know I need to do. And I'm not going to worry about it. I can't control it. All I can do is go out there, trust the doctors, do what they've allowed me to do, and do the best I possibly can. And then go for it. Why not? What does he have to lose? If he takes the passive approach and says, you know what, I'm going to run 80%. Well, he's not going to be on this team for long. And if he is on this team, he dang sure ain't going to be a starter, because Sean Payton's going to want players out there that can perform at the highest level, not the level down here because you're taking a little time off because you're fearful. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I understand he'd be fearful. I tore my tendon in my right elbow and had to retire early from the school district and maintenance. And I've been very passive at times to go, oh, I don't really think I should try that. But you know what? I've gotten to the point where I said that was early on in my recovery. But I've gotten to the point where I said, you know what? I'm going to lift. And if it hurts, well, then I'll stop. I'll use the other arm. And yes, sometimes it does hurt. So I know that Tim Patrick is weary. I totally get that. And I'm not trying to say that my injury is anywhere near an ACL, because it's not. Mine was only 15% torn. His is completely torn. So I'm not comparing apples to apples, more like apples to oranges. But it's the same concept is what I'm trying to get across. Of course he's going to be Larry. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, if I was in the same situation, I dang sure would be as too. But I like his approach that says, hey, you know what? I'm not going to focus on that. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go out there. I want to catch passes, doggone it. And I'm going to go out there and do whatever it takes for me to get open and catch passes. That's what I like about Tim Patrick. And he's a leader. He's a leader in the locker room. And I'll tell you what, guys, if he walks in that locker room and starts doing some crazy, ridiculous stretching things and getting motivated and wanting to be the best he can and working out and doing whatever he can in the weight room and whatever else it takes to get back out there 100%, you don't think those younger guys are going to look to him and go, wow, this guy had a torn ACL and he's working like he's a rookie trying to make the team, and he's already on the team. You know, That's going to send shockwaves through these guys and go, wow, that's what I got to do. I got to be like Tim Patrick. I got to come out there and I got to make a statement. And I got to be that guy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Tim Patrick is that kind of guy. All right. I move on to something that I do not like. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to like it, and I'm going to get a lot of comments. I'm going to get a lot of people in the chat or whatever say that they love it. And that's all well and good. I'm not a person that likes change from something that I like. Here it is. Per Zach Stevens of DNVR, the Broncos will officially debut a new alternate helmet this season. Why? We already have that. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to say it because I can't stand it. We already have that stupid all orange uniform. I can't stand that uniform. It's way too bright, doesn't show off enough of the blue. It's all orange. It might as well be a traffic sign. I mean, my gosh, man. It's just, I don't like the orange rush. I don't like that color. I don't like that color scheme. Now, if you want to make it alternate, then make it the top jersey orange and the bottom pants blue. What's wrong with that? But all orange? And now you're going to do an alternate helmet? Oh, by the way, it will coincide with the rush uniforms. Oh my gosh, please don't be orange. And don't be white. I don't want a white helmet. That reminds me too much of the stupid Chargers or the Buffalo Bills or anything. White doesn't exude dominance. It doesn't. White is kind of like, hey, it's white. It's bland. When you walk into a house, look at my walls. They're white. They don't exuberate any, I don't know, energy. The stripes up here sure do because they're orange and blue. They pop. They come out. Don't have white helmet. You got to be kidding me. And heaven forbid don't have an all orange one with the orange jersey and the orange pants. You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. No. Oh, it's not out yet, but it will be debuting in the fall of 2023. Does that mean prior to the preseason? To show it off? Does that mean in preseason? Probably not. It's probably somewhere during the game, this actual season. But I know they're going to introduce it prior to the season. But oh my gosh, a white helmet? I mean, I can't show you a picture. I probably should have brought it up. But you can't see it. All you see is the mask and then part of the helmet. And it looks like it's white. And maybe has, like, I don't know, the Rocky Mountains on the front or something like that. Okay, that's okay. But not white. And yes, the Rockies have snow on white. Make the helmet blue, like this hat here. Make it dark blue, like it's supposed to be. Like this jersey, that's blue. What is wrong? Why do teams feel like they have to always change? I know it's money involved, and they get sales from people buying the merchandise, and I can't fault them for that. You can't fault me for not liking what I don't like. Okay, you can't fault me for that. That's my I don't want to say prerogative, but that's my feelings. I don't like them. I don't like white helmets. I just don't. I like dark, rich colors, like the Avalanche colors, the Broncos colors, even the Rockies colors. That purple's awesome. I like that. Yeah. Why change something that looks good? I know the NFL's pushing for alternate jerseys and alternate, gear because they get a cut from the revenue too. And I know it's all about marketing. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I have to buy it. Probably means I won't. But my gosh, it looks like it's gonna be a white helmet, and I'm not thrilled with that. I'm just not thrilled. Sorry about that. All right, let's go to former wide receiver of the Denver Broncos, Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall believes the Broncos will be 10-1 or 9-2 at the start of the season. Okay, well, we don't know the schedule yet. I mean, we know the teams we're playing, but we don't know the sequence. Is the sequence, if Brandon Marshall says the Broncos are going to go 10-1 or 9-2 at the start of the season, that's 11 games, guys, out of 17. So is he telling me that we're going to be playing easy teams right out of the gate? More than halfway through the season, dang near 2/3 through the season? That doesn't sound to me like it's even possible. I mean, we got the Jets. I know we have the Jets. I think we have them at home. I know the Vikings are not easy. We got them at home. We have to play Kansas City twice, Raiders twice, Chargers twice. That's not going to be easy. That's 6 games right there. We have to play Buffalo. So where in heaven's name is Brandon Marshall coming off that the Broncos are going to be 10-1 or 9-2? I mean, I hope he's right. Absolutely, I hope he's right. But again, you have a Sean Payton first year in Denver, first year in Broncos country, first year with Russell Wilson, as his quarterback. I know he coached him in a Pro Bowl, but that's totally different. Completely different offensive game plan, offensive playbook, completely different mindset in a head coach than he had in Hackett. So I don't know. I just can't see the Broncos going 9-1. I mean, 10-1 or 9-2. I dang sure hope that happens. But holy smokes. I mean, me personally, I don't know the teams we're playing out of the gate, but in the first 10 games, I'll be happy if we go 7-3. I'll even be happy if we go 6-4, tell you the truth. That'll be one game more that we'd won all last year. If we're 6-4 out of the first 10 games, I'll be ecstatic. 7-3, even better. Let's go 10-0 or 9-1. The first 10 games? No. To me, not even realistic. Possibility? Anything's a possibility. Realistically, I don't see it. Because first and foremost, I don't know the teams we're playing. Second of all, I don't know how the team's going to look during preseason. Are they going to gel? Is it going to be a harmony between Sean Payton and Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson's receivers, the running backs. Remember, we have new guys on the team, guys. We have new players. It's 10-1 or 9-2. It's okay. I'm going to quote Brandon Marshall, and this is what he said. The Broncos are going to get off to a hot start, and they're going to sustain it, end quote. Whew. Man, I don't know. I think he's looking through orange-colored glasses because I do not see 10-1 or 9-2. I absolutely do not see that. Unless he knows something I certainly don't. And he may be more in the know, obviously. I mean, he's a former Bronco player, but wow. That to me is a little hard to swallow. Just a little hard to swallow that prediction. All right, let's get into, you got it, guys, the jackass of the week. Okay, this jackass of the week is a current Denver Bronco player. I don't like bringing in Bronco players because that's my team. I don't want to put them in the spotlight of being the jackass of the week. But when you are one, and doesn't matter if you're on the Broncos or you're somewhere else, doesn't matter. When you do stupid things, then to me, you are the JAOTW, jackass of the week. All right, here we go. Broncos cornerback, Fayan Hicks. Now, I know he's not a starter. He's not like the number one defensive cornerback. That's obvious. But he's still on the team. I continue. Broncos cornerback Fayan Hicks was arrested in South Florida last weekend. Hicks was pulled over on April 1st for failing to stop at a stop sign. Okay, I'm in California, guys. when you come up to a stop sign in California, it's called the California ooze. What it is you got the stop sign right here, and you kind of come up and you slow down, you slow down, you slow down, and then you keep going. You never really fully stop. Now, I don't know what Florida's is, and I know the word stop means stop. Doesn't mean slow, doesn't mean California ooze, it means stop. I get that. And I do stop when, I do the ooze. I will admit, I do the California ooze, but I don't do it blatantly. Like, I don't sit there and just see look at a stop sign. Even when I go to work at 4:30 in the morning at the golf course, be there at 5, and there's nobody on the road, and there's a stop sign, I stop. Why? Because it says stop. It doesn't mean stop whenever you want to. It doesn't mean stop, unless you're a football player. No, it means stop. Any law says stop. You got to stop. Okay? So you stop. That's what you're supposed to do. So it says that he failed to stop at a stop sign. I'm not going to say that it was an ooze because I don't know. It doesn't say that. But if the officer felt that he didn't stop, well, then he didn't stop. Okay. When the officer approached Hicks' car, he smelled of strong odor of cannabis. Okay. Marijuana. Hicks, however, told the officer that there wasn't any cannabis in the car, that he smoked some a few days prior. Now, I don't know, I don't smoke marijuana, so I don't know. But I don't know how long it lingers on your body, in your breath, in the car, whatever. But I do know that I did smoke cigarettes. I haven't smoked in over 30 years, 40 years. But anyways, I know that when you smoke cigarettes or around somebody that does, and it gets on your clothing, it doesn't last for no freaking 3 days. Now, he used the word, and I quote, I said I quoted. Hicks said, however, I didn't quote. It said Hicks, however, told the officer, this is from the article, that he wasn't smoking cannabis in case that he smoked a few days prior. The word few is dictionary word for few is 3. 1 is singular, 2 is plural, 3 is a few, or try, whatever. But you got 1, 2, like a couple. A couple means 2, obviously. A few means 3. I've never in my life had cigarette smoke on my body that lasted 3 days. Now, if you're smoking a lot, sure, it's going to get in your clothing, but you change your clothes, right? I mean, you're not going to wear the same clothes for 3 days, Hicks. Are you, or do you? You're going to wear the same clothes for 3 days? Really? Well, then maybe it was on there. But you're not going to do that. You're going to take a shower. You're going to change. It's not going to be in the car for 3 days unless it's all locked up. But even then, it soaks down into the fabric or whatever. It's not going to be in there. Why would you tell a police officer who pulled you over for a stop sign violation and tell him, oh, no, I told the officer there wasn't any cannabis in the car, that I smoked some a few days prior? Okay. All right. Well, the officer's kind of tipped off now, right? Here we go. Due to the smell, the officer searched the car and found the following. Ready? Boy. A firearm under the driver's seat. Okay. Okay, I continue. Marijuana cigarette, multicolored foil baggies, and elastic baggies containing cannabis. Wait a minute. Didn't Hicks just tell the officer right before that? Officer, there wasn't any cannabis in this car. No. That was a few days ago I smoked. A few days ago. What'd you do? Smoke it in the car? Because that's where it was found. I continue. Hicks was cited for disobeying a stop sign, driving with, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Seriously? Driving with an expired license. Now, this guy's a football player. I'm nowhere near the income this guy has. I don't care if he's a rookie or not. He's making more than I am. That's dang sure. I have my driver's license valid. I got my registration on the car valid. I got insurance. What the heck? He is driving with an expired license. Now, let's backtrack a little bit, guys. Let's backtrack a little bit. Okay? He didn't stop at a stop sign. So that tipped the officer off wherever he was that saw it. Then he goes and tells the officer that ain't got no cannabis in this car, man. And no, that ain't happening. No. Oh, really? But you smell like marijuana. So because you smell like, I think I'm going to search your car. And you find a firearm concealed under the driver's seat, a marijuana cigarette that you said you didn't have, and baggies containing cannabis, and oh, by the way, an expired license. You know, are these guys really this stupid? Are they really this ignorant that they have no clue how to just abide by the law? I mean, it is absolutely mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling that these guys can't do the simple thing. Keeping your driver's license current. How hard is it? Oh, I don't want to stand in line for 3 hours just for a stupid license. What the heck? No, that's what you do, man, because that's what happens. The DMVs are packed. And you know what? You can even get your driver's license renewed online. If you don't know how to use a computer, ask a friend of yours, a buddy, whatever. Golly, don't be this stupid. I mean, seriously, driving without a license. Seriously, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. All right. He was cited on, like I said, disobeying a stop sign, driving with an expired license, and carrying a concealed firearm without a permit. Hicks posted bail that same weekend and is awaiting trial, whatever, or allegation. I have no clue. It didn't go into that. It just said he posted bail. But seriously? Really? And I know and I heard, though, and I read that the governor passed a bill where citizens of Florida can carry a concealed weapon if they have a permit. But that doesn't start until July 1st if it passes through the system. Doesn't start till July 1st. So that being said, this is not July 1st of 2023. We're only in the first week of April. So what Hicks was doing with that concealed weapon under his seat, it's a driver's seat. You're a few months away, buddy. Oh, and you're driving with an expired license. Oh, and you ran a stop sign. Oh, and you got cannabis in the car that you told the officer you didn't have. Yeah. Sorry, Hicks. You earned the jackass of the week for this day. And I mean, for this week. Absolutely. All right. I go to the last topic. And the reason why I'm wearing the Avalanche hat is obviously twofold. The Avalanche played tonight, 7:30 Pacific time, my time, against the Los Angeles Kings in Los Angeles. So that being said, I wanted to bring in an Avalanche update. And I used to have the Avalanche update in my loops, but I guess I got taken out from the network. I'll have to get that put back in somehow. Okay. Anyways, I do have the Avalanche update, and here it is. The Colorado Avalanche, defending Stanley Cup champions, have clinched a playoff spot in spite of the following key games missed by key players. Here they are. Gabriel Landeskog, our captain, 76 games and counting. Helm, 64 games. Byram, 38. Nichushkin, 29. Makar, 16. Lehkonen, 14. Rodriguez, 14. And McKinnon, 12. That is well over. I mean, that's got to be, let's see, 76 and 64. That's close to 140. So we're dang near 200 games that these players have missed. So for that being said, and the Avalanche have clinched a playoff spot is absolutely remarkable. Let me continue. Not only did the Avalanche clinch a playoff spot with those games missed on April 4th, just a few days ago, they took over the last wild card spot, the third spot in the division. Nope. The Avalanche took over the top spot in the division ahead of the Minnesota Wild and the Dallas Stars. My goodness, guys, if that isn't impressive with all of those games lost to those key players, if that isn't impressive and remarkable, then you're not paying attention to the Avalanche. Absolutely not. And you're not paying attention to hockey, because that is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, I do have to say this. Going into tonight's game, the Avalanche at the Kings. The Kings are fighting to try. I mean, they're in this third spot of the Pacific. They're trying to catch Vegas. Well, Vegas lost today, which hurts the Avalanche, because that meant that the Dallas Stars now have 102 points. The Avalanche have 100 points. Minnesota Wild have 78 or 98. Excuse me. Minnesota Wild 98. Avalanche have to win tonight. If they win tonight, they tie for the most points in the division with Dallas at 102. But the Avalanche have a game in hand. So that means that they would absolutely jump over Dallas as the top seed in the Central. So this is a very, very key, important game. There's only 5 games left, guys. Only 5 games. We play tonight against the Kings, and then go right across town tomorrow to play the Anaheim Ducks. Both these games are on the road, and both these games we have to win. We have to win these games. I believe we still play. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we still play. Let's see. Oh shoot! Sorry, guys. I got it here real quick. We still play. Okay, so these last 5 games are this. Tonight we play the Kings at 7:30 Pacific time. Tomorrow we play Anaheim 5:30 Pacific time. Then we are at home against Edmonton 6:30 on Tuesday, and Winnipeg 5 p.m. on Pacific time on Thursday, and then a makeup game at Nashville 5 p.m. the following day on Thursday. Okay, the hardest game I see here, guys, is the LA Kings, and that's why, because the Kings are in the third spot in the Pacific Division. Anaheim, nowhere near. Edmonton, not so much. Winnipeg, nope. Nashville, yes. Nashville is there, but that's a makeup game, and that's the one where we got the game in hand. So we need to take care of business. We need to win at least 4 of the 5, if not all 5. Absolutely must win. Those are critical. Very, very critical. All right. Just want to I know this is Easter weekend, and I know we had a very, very light chat, but I do want to give shout out to those that were in there. It's because of you guys as to why this show is that much better. Bubba wants to say, Bubba Gonzalez, thanks for being in on the show today. Thanks for being in the house. Rising Rhino, always thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, the show wouldn't be as good as it is. You guys make it all that much better. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. Hit the like button. Tell your friends. Let's make this network grow. Let's make the show even better than you guys can make it. I know you guys can bring it. I know you guys can be a part of the show and engage, and that's what makes this show great. So thanks again, guys, for always being here. Before I get out of here, let's get to the other shows real quick. This is Saturday, so on Monday, you got the Cluster Puck, and that is with Nick and Britt. That goes live 5, 6, 7, and 8. They talk Avalanche hockey and anything related to hockey. Then on Tuesday, Tuesday, you have the 5280 podcast. That goes live every 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right after that show, about 6:30 or so Pacific time, that is the No Nonsense and Whiskey. They go live. They talk all sports. Doesn't matter what sports. And they've been on the Masters the last show, and that was a great show. So catch those shows when you can. On Wednesday is the Wild Wild West. That features a fan from every AFC West team: Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. That goes live every 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30. And then on then on Thursday, you're going to have the Avalanche neighborhood. That's going to be the last show of the regular season. We're going to do the Avalanche in the playoffs, but this is the last show in the regular season. That goes live when the Avalanche play at Nashville, the Nashville Predators. That's the makeup game. That is on Thursday. Then on Friday, this show again, live, Broncos Breakdown with me, your host, Bronco Bill, goes live every Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Until then, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful Easter and enjoy the time. And thanks again, guys, for your support and for everything you do for this network and this show. We'll talk to you next Thursday. Till then, bye-bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.